Yo, what is going on, guys? Episode 87 of many. We've got our special guest that we've been having on here once a month now, the past few months, I think since September, maybe was our first month.
Yeah.
So we've got Holden Smith here. We're going to talk about his goals that were to be wrapped up here by the end of the year. We're going to talk about 2026. We're going to talk about January goals. As some of you may know, if you've been listening to Holden, we've got a wedding coming up in 2026, right? So we've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Without further ado, Holden, thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
How we feeling, just in general, with life, with you, with your everything going on? How we feeling?
Things are going pretty good. I feel good. It's definitely like harder to get out of bed in the morning with it being cold and, daylight savings time, all that good stuff, but discipline. So
are you ever one to have seasonal depression or anything? People say that, right, with the cold weather and the darkness and stuff like that,
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's at my old job, I'd worked third shift and it was brutal, because you'd wake up, it was dark, you go to work dark, get done with work, it's dark.
Yeah.
So just kind of felt like a vampire, and it was hard to get through, but I think it's just more a mental thing than anything. So once you push through that, you'll be all right.
Yeah, fair enough. How are you feeling on a deeper level? I know you and I have some conversations outside of this, outside of work related stuff. One of my questions here, I was gonna talk about the holidays, but I guess I'm getting right into the here. So you've really focused on your health these past, I don't know, 6 months or 5 months, whatever it's been.
Mm-hmm.
And you've put other things to the wayside, things that you used to like to do, whether that was eating the things that you used to eat, but also maybe video games and these other things. How are you just feeling? And you're so focused on health and fitness now, and other things are being put to the wayside, I guess is my thought. AKA, you've taken a different job, you're doing different things. Just talk about that aspect of life right now. I mean, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It's, I look at it as it is a new normal, that I'm trying to get used to. It's things that, I've always wanted and things that I've always asked for. And now I'm getting what I want, but I just have to put the work in, you know what I mean? And I have to just stay disciplined. And I think the reason why some people kind of get cold feet on certain things is because of the change. Nobody wants to change. They don't like a new routine. People get stuck in their ways, and I was definitely one of those people. But I think once you can take the accountability of just owning that you want to change and you truly want to do better, and you separate the needs from wants, you don't need to do anything. It has to be something that you want to do because you truly feel that way. So I think to answer your question, I do feel better, but there are definitely times where I kind of wish I didn't have to, you know what I mean, get up early and go to the gym, or where I could just kind of sit around and be a bum all day. But I just sit and think about how far I've come from when we first talked in August to now. And if we're at the rate, that I'm at right now, why would I stop? Why would I want to jeopardize anything to mess up how good I'm doing right now?
Yeah. Yeah. And I definitely think there's a lot of change. And I guess I want to go one layer deeper, the conversation that you and I have. Your biggest concern, because I want people to understand that and see it. And for somebody like you that made such a major change, not only in your fitness and health routine, you went obviously 180, right? A completely 180, going from eating what you were doing, drinking, any other extracurricular things that you were doing or not doing, to now what you are today. You're reading, you're walking, you're doing all the right things to get your life in check. But that also came at a cost of your career, right? We've changed career paths, which we don't need to get into too nitty gritty on the details of that. But I mean, you went from a high paying job with a lot of overtime and money in your pocket, to now. My recommendation to you was, dude, if you don't focus on your health, we don't know how long of life you've got, right? You know what I mean? If we don't make the correction now, you're going to continue on the same path.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know this is something that we're going through outside of the cameras and the conversations we're having, and this is something we're working on. But you've went a complete 180 there too. You went from making all the money you wanted to make and covering, everything, and now focusing on yourself. So I don't know if you want to open up or talk anything about that. Like I said, we don't need to get into the details of what job, I don't care. But I want people to realize that like you aren't just sacrificing, your time to get out of bed. Like you've sacrificed a hell of a lot more than just making the first, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The career that I had, it was for, 7 years, and I was making like really good money, but the hours, you know what I mean? Like I would work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then, I would have 2 days off. And on those 2 days, now you have to cram in bills, family time, cleaning up the house, going to the store, like, seeing, people, that you don't always get to see, stuff like that. I think for me, it still is hard. Like sometimes, like I sit and ruminate on the fact, and I know I shouldn't. But then I kind of just stop myself and remember, like what I just said, right? Like I've worked super hard, since August to like be where I'm at today, to be at the weight that I'm at, to, have the people that I have in my life, and, to be able to just be on like this platform and, share my story to hopefully inspire somebody else. Sometimes I do think about, like if I did make the right decision, and ultimately I shouldn't say I think I know I made the right decision, because like mentally, like I do feel better than what I was before, and physically, I look and seem healthier, and I think, it goes back to what I said about the needs and wants, right? Like nobody needs to get better, or nobody needs to quit their job or make a lifestyle change. Like it has to come down to what you want to do, and like you truly have to want it. Like, you can't just, make it a New Year's goal or a 1 month goal. Like it has to be a lifestyle change, right? To where you have to be disciplined with yourself every single day, and just take things on head on. And yeah, I think it's just a new way of living life, and it goes back to the change that I was talking about. Nobody likes change, but sometimes change is for the better, and you have to always do what you think is best for you. And sometimes it's a big sacrifice. And I think I'm taking 6 steps backwards to take 7 forward. So
I think for you too, you've always been in like a comfortable mindset, in the sense of like doing what's comfortable. You're doing everything that's uncomfortable now.
Correct.
You're going to the gym. You took a pay cut. You have a different schedule. Like you're doing all these things that are 100% different than your comfortable lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying being overweight and eating the way, like I'm not saying that's, but you know what I mean? Like it was the easy way out, right? It was like I wasn't challenging the status quo. Like I was just doing what I had to do. So I give you props on again, like you're doing everything that you need to do now to get your life in check, your personal life. I know you and I have honest conversations, and I know there's other stressors like in life, figuring out what your next move is in your career, and you're there, and like whatever that next step is there. And I know you like I think that's probably what weighs on your mind the most right now, is that you have now focused on yourself so much, but now it's like, okay, now I'm looking at, I'm getting married this year. I'm having a family. I've got bills. I've got a house, right? Like there's other things now. And I think we're right on that tipping point of like, you're creating and instilling habits in yourself that I think you can hold on to forever. We're going to continue doing these podcasts to hold you accountable, to make sure you still are doing what you need to do. But yeah, I think doing the uncomfortable, I think, is the most important thing for you. And I think it's going to be the best thing for your mentality, knowing you and what it takes to get through that thick skull of yours to feel, you know what I mean? Like to feel good and to feel confident. I know confidence is probably one of the biggest things we're working on with you. Not the confidence to walk into a store and be you. I'm sure that's a confidence we're working on too. And I'm sure you've gained a hell of a lot of confidence with your weight loss journey.
Yeah.
But that confidence in feeling able to, that confidence in like your own ability to accomplish and, conquer, like those things, right?
Yeah.
Like that inner confidence, right?
Yep.
So I just wanted to like kind of start the conversation there. I want people to realize it's hard enough to get up and go to the gym and get your steps in and start working out and doing the right things. But sometimes there's a lot of other things there's a lot of other things they're not seeing that you've changed for the better as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we'll move on from that. I was going to ask what you had for holiday plans, because this is our Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, we had our Thanksgiving episode together, and now we're doing Christmas together. So, what, we'll switch gears real quick. What do you got going on for the holidays?
Yeah. Christmas Eve, it'll be my soon-to-be father-in-law's birthday, so we'll hang out with him, spend the day with him. Christmas Day, my fiance and her family will have Christmas with them, and then I think it'll be the 27th, that Saturday. I'll have like my family Christmas to where like my sister, my niece and nephew, cousins, aunts, they all come visit me. So it's really nice. I essentially like have the house and I live like closest to everybody. So it's more convenient. So those are really my plans.
Fair enough. What do you, I'm just curious. Presents, do you guys, I don't know how their families do it. Do you guys have like a budget per person, or like do you guys do like a white elephant or like a draw the hat or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah. On Thanksgiving for Carly's family, we always do like Secret Santa. So like they'll come around with a name and a hat, and then like whoever you get is, who you'll get presents for. And it's normally like a $50 limit. So yeah, that's what we did this year. And Carly and I both kind of stuck to that, like, just because, with the job change and, with finances, all that other stuff, we said like, hey, how about we just, more or less focus on our wedding and focus on maybe like our honeymoon instead, to where we can save up more money for the bigger payoff at the end.
How hard is it doing white elephant for random people?
And it's kind of hard because you just always think like, would this person actually like this? Like, because sometimes when people make a Christmas list, they're just like, I'm just going to throw random shit on here. But then 2 or 3 days before, they think like, oh, this is what I really want for Christmas. It's like, well, it's kind of hard to do that shit now. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Fair enough. So let's hop into how you are feeling. So we'll go right back into it. So we'll get to the goals that you set, and we'll talk about that here shortly. How are we feeling? Like, it's another month, at the end of the year. How's your energy doing? How's your joints feeling? How is your body doing?
Yeah, my body's doing good. Like, I definitely feel like more loose. Like, my back does not hurt as much as it used to. I used to have like immense like lower back pain to like where I just like wouldn't want to move, like I would walk maybe less than a quarter mile and I'd be like tapping out because I just had so much weight to carry. Yeah, so I do feel better, like, my body and health wise. Mentally though, like it can still be tough to just, see the payoff and to like see the bigger picture. Things can still be tough. We talked about, like wintertime, like depression, seasonal depression, like those kind of things. It's definitely tough, but I think, like I said, as long as you can, sometimes like I'll do like, I'll look at like my weight on the scale, right? Like when I know I've been just kicking ass, I know I've been doing really, really good. I normally weigh in once a week, but then like I'll kind of like peak, a little bit and just see like where I'm at, just as like a halfway through like confidence boost. Like, all right, like let's put it in fifth gear, like keep going, like just don't stop. So yeah, that for sure.
What about like breathing? Like just walking places and like being out of breath or getting out of the car or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, if you notice that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I could not even go on like a simple flight of stairs, right? Without having to, like that. But now it's a lot different to where I can just, just feel like normal, I guess, if that's a good term to use.
I'm curious how that feels. Like, just, when you walk up a flight of stairs now, like, do you smile at the top? Like, do you just feel like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, do you look back down and be like, yeah, fuck you?
Yeah,
I mean?
climb Mount Everest. Yeah, for sure. No, I don't know. I used to always complain, like, if somebody didn't park like right close next to the door, like, why the fuck would you park, so far away when there's a spot right here? But now, like, when I go to Pick and Save here in Watoma, like, I'll park at the eye clinic and then I'll walk all the way there just so I can get more steps and, just so I can, just be like that 1% better that we always preach about.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, 1% better for sure. So let's talk about cheat meals, anything. The reason I bring this up is we had our our company Christmas party on Friday. For those of you listening, maybe you don't know, Holden recently started working some part-time stuff for us just to help out and do some stuff like that. And so Holden was invited to the company Christmas party, and I don't know. I don't even know if we sent you an email. I was walking on the treadmill with you, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to come to the?"
pretty much.
So, anyways, Holden comes, and we drink some beers, and Holden drinks like he like cracks a beer, and I wasn't sitting by him, and I see him over there drinking a beer, and I was like, I don't know. Like I talk to him like every fucking month about these things. Like I don't want to be the reason he's cheating on himself, and maybe he's drank a beer and I just don't know about it. So I think you had 2 beers with us. I just want to talk like, one, I want everybody to know that you don't have to be perfect. You are human. And like, I think you've been very good for a very long time. I'm not telling you to go home and eat any cake or any of that other sugary or like soda. I'm not telling you that's okay. But I think there are times to like, let loose, have a good time and be yourself as well. So has there been anything else as of recently, the holidays, anything that you've been like, I snuck a bite of this or done that? Like, I want to know cravings wise, like what's happening in the mind of Holden?
To be honest, like cravings have kind of really like been non-existent for me, which is good, just because I have had like, substitutes for like other things like for instance, I had like a Tostitos chip and I tried like some of this dip, right? And I was like, this is ridiculously salty. Like, how could I have pounded down a whole bag of this before, right? To where like I'm used to something like a Quest chip, something like that. Or I feel like my taste buds are definitely a little bit different. I've still been like extremely like strict. Like I have not really had any kind of sugar, or I haven't really binge like ate like any kind of like a whole bag of candy or anything like that nature. Sometimes like I do see it like on the ad or like on a commercial or something, to where I'll be like, now conveniently that looks so delicious, to when now I'm on a diet, which kind of sucks, but at the same time like I just think the payoff of what I'm doing is going to be so much more enjoyable than that cheeseburger, that bag of chips, like that kind of stuff. So I just always going to have that mindset. And it's hard to be extremely disciplined around the holidays. Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. Like there's nothing better than eating food and watching football and then sleeping, because everybody does the same thing, right? So there's no judgment. It's just definitely, it's hard because, you want to stay strict with yourself and you want to stay disciplined, but you also don't want to seem like, standoffish or like, oh, did he not like my cooking, or something like that. But, it's just staying disciplined. Really. You got to stay locked in.
Have you said the reason I ask is I think a lot of people out there, or at least like I know for me, when I'm like setting like a weight loss goal for myself, 5-10 pounds, I want to do this, I want abs, I want arms, whatever. I try to give myself that goal so that I can be like, once I get to that spot, then I will do this, then I will do that. So have you done any of that yourself where like, once I get down to 300, once I get down to 2, once I have abs, I don't know what you're saying over there, but whatever you said, have you created anything in your head that you're like, well, I'll get my first ice cream again once I get, or whatever you really like, Have you put any predetermining?
I think maybe like once I get under, like, I don't know, to be honest. No, I haven't really had that thought until now, right? Like,
well, sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm more or less more focused on like being able to like fit in certain shirts, right? Like I'll try on a shirt and I'm like, dude, I'm probably usually like 10, 15 pounds away from fitting in this, So I more or less like that's kind of more the thing that I've been thinking about, like my apparel for like clothing, stuff like that. Like that's just something I like. I don't know if anybody can really relate that listens, like, if you are a bigger person, like it's ridiculous. Like it really kind of sucks, but it's also ass backwards, right? Like we'll bitch and complain about paying $62 for a shirt, but we'll go spend $30 at Mickey D's, no problem. Right. So I definitely think, it's just, no, it hasn't been a thought in my head, really. I don't know. I'm too locked in on just trying to, really kind of be like where I want. I think I've always been a really competitive person, so I definitely think that's something I'm really trying to stay focused on.
I can see you just at home, like yelling at Carly down the hallway, like, look at this shirt, look
Dude,
at this
all
shirt.
The time,
and then all
for real.
Like, you go back and she's like trying to cook some fucking dinner for you. And you're like, hey, over here,
Yeah, pretty much, man. It's legit exactly how it goes. Like,
you're just like a little excited little kid, like some new shit you found in the bottom drawer.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, hey, look at this old toy I found. Yeah, for real.
Oh shit. That's good stuff. I think that's these are the things that I think people find interesting, especially other people that might be in your shoes.
Yeah.
They don't realize like what to look forward to all the time, other than like, oh, I know I need to lose weight, but like this little sense of joy of like you being a little kid in the hallway. I don't know if you have any pants on, but at least you got a shirt on.
Yeah.
You're yelling at Carly,
Yeah.
So, anyways, so let's dive into the goals from last month, and then we are going to talk briefly about the next month, and also kind of like a little overview on the year. A lot of the podcasts that I've been releasing lately, I've been talking about like end of year, thinking about 2026, thinking about what you want to accomplish. There's a lot of power that comes with the new year for everybody. It's just like how well you harness it and keep it like in your favor or like on your side to keep you moving forward.
Sure.
As soon as that like clock strikes midnight and you're like, it's a new year, it's almost like you get to throw out all your old baggage or all of your old, this year, and you're like, it's a fresh start, right? Everybody gets this fresh start mentality, which I encourage people to like just set goals when they want to, but everybody gets this power of that new year. So I want to talk about that with you. So let's talk about your last month's goals. Let's see what we've accomplished. So we had a book reading goal last month. What was it? What did we read? And did we accomplish our goal?
Yeah. It was definitely challenging, but it was 6 books. And I read the series of Mr. Mercedes, and it was like 300 to 500 pages long. And at first, like when I got that whole series done, like it took me a good chunk of time, right? And I was like, "Fuck, I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to pound down 3 more books." But then I read Fahrenheit, which is a very good book, and then the book Dry and A Long Way Down. And the books that I read were more or less like psychological thrillers, and I kind of thought about like, okay, like what can I do? Like obviously I've never been a reader, right? But I love to watch TV and I love to watch movies, shows, whatever. So once I was able to kind of like find a genre of book and stuff that I like, to where now I can just picture it like a movie, in my head, and essentially it's the same thing. So
that's cool. I'm good. I'm happy for you.
Appreciate that, man.
Books, I think they help you in many ways. I mean, I think you can speak better, you can read better, I think it's less screen time, right?
For sure, yeah.
Better sleep.
I would always
maybe messed up sleep with the shit you're reading. I don't know.
Yeah. I would always like read right before bed, and even sometimes like where I wouldn't get tired, to where then like my eyes are moving and now I'm like falling asleep as I'm reading. So never really expected to be the kind of person to ever do that. So I used to pick on my grandma all the time when she did that shit.
You got like the glasses coming down your nose too?
Yeah, pretty much,
kinda, reading down here. Okay, so books went good. We'll come back to that. So let's talk about your workout routine and steps. How did that go? I mean, tell us about that.
Great, yeah. We set up to do weights Monday through Friday. I definitely set something up to where I was like, okay, Monday can be leg day, right? Like I want to get that like just out of the way, right? And Tuesday, back, Wednesday, arms, Thursday, shoulders, and then like Friday is just like a core workout day. But I always made sure to, get like my steps in after the workout, like no matter like how tired I was. 10,000 steps is like the bare minimum, like that I'll accept. But normally I've been trying to push that like 12,000 range.
Are there any days that you don't get 10,000?
Just on Sunday.
Yeah? Sunday's like a rest day for you now?
Pretty much, yeah. Sunday, like I just watch football and stuff like that. But I still try and at least like be active in some kind of way.
How many steps do you think you're getting on like Sundays? I'm just curious.
Probably like 6,000 to 7,000.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Okay. We also had a fasting goal. Tell me about that.
Dude, that was brutal. Like it was tough. I did a 36-hour fast, and it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like I almost quit. Like I would just drink a lot of water and, like some electrolytes and stuff like that. And it felt to the point like where I was getting gut rot almost, just because, I was consuming like a lot of like liquid, right? But it got also really hard like when people were asking me questions, like super basic questions, right? Like, hey, do you think it's going to snow? I'm like, what's snow? Like I have no idea what you're talking about. So that was hard. Yeah. 36-hour fast. I would honestly I think I would push myself to try it again. I don't know if there's a way I can build up some kind of tolerance or endurance for that, but I definitely think it's in the future to try again for sure. But it was difficult, like to go, a day without eating to just make sure like your body like intaked enough fluid, and then to wake up and go longer, without eating. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was really, really tough. But yeah, made it through and I did it, and it was nice to like, it was a good way to like lose like a good chunk of like weight too. So
Yeah. I think the mental part is the biggest takeaway from it, like proving to yourself that you can do it.
yeah,
Because like half of it's like your mind is triggering, I should eat, I should eat, I should probably eat. Like I haven't eaten, you know what I mean? And I think that's the hardest part.
right.
And so once you realize like, okay, I don't need the food, but your mind is, you know what I mean? It's like more of like a challenge to the brain than it is anything else.
Exactly.
But anyways, let's move on to, we had a goal to work up to a 1 mile run. How is that going? Did that go? Where are we at with that?
It's going good. Mondays and Fridays are the days like where I do a mile like run, walk, jog like without stopping, and I'm trying to get it under that 12-minute mark, and it's challenging because it's almost like my body's forgotten how to run because it's been so long. Like I've actually been like active, and I tried running outside last week, and it was pretty brutal. Like taking in like that like first big breath of air, and it's cold and it really hits your lungs in the throat. Like it was tough, but I just feel like, I mean, it's kind of hard to like run on a tread, but I don't know. I just felt better running outside, and just being able to like move like that again. Like it's almost like a confidence boost, like it sucks because like part of me is like, oh, who's watching or who's doing what? But I just gotta not think about that and just focus on myself and like focus on that goal, and think about like, well, can they run a mile?
Yeah, right.
So
yeah. The other day, G and I were running in town in Neshkoro, like right after that really bad snowfall the other day. And it snowed really bad, like all morning or all evening into the morning or something. And so when we went for a run, we just ran like downtown Neshkoro, just on Main Street.
yeah,
And on Main Street in Neshkoro, there's enough like room for like traffic and then also like street parking. So G and I were basically running like in the street parking or as nearest to the sidewalk as we could, because the sidewalk was like all snow and ice or like kind of shoveled, and then like you'd hit another patch and it'd be all snow and ice again. This guy had to stop to tell us to get on the sidewalk, right? Like he wasn't even driving. He was a passenger. Had his wife like stop the vehicle so he could yell at us out the window and be like, "Guys should get on the sidewalk." It's like,
damn kids.
yeah, it's like, why don't you get out here and run, dude?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those. So you're saying your fear of judgment and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know. It's just, I don't know. People are going to be people, but most people aren't doing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. And I think if I can just continue to like to put that on like repeat in my brain and tell myself that, just put my headphones in and ignore everybody and just focus on what I'm doing, eventually my body just becomes like a machine where it's just going to keep going, and I'm just on autopilot. So
yeah, for sure. Well, let's get to the weight goal. What was our weight goal, and where are we at, and how are we feeling about it?
It was 350 or under, and I before I came in, I was 343.7.
343.7.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, feels really, really good. Like, going back to what I said about like a confidence boost, right? Or like, if I'm feeling kind of down in the dumps or whatever, I'll look at my weight on the scale and stuff like that, and I'll kind of be able to just be like, don't stop, like keep pushing. I definitely am just amazed. Like, I really do think back a lot on how I'm like, hey, Colton, how long do you think this would take? Because I didn't want to do the work still,
right.
Like I was just, okay, so give me an estimated time of how long you think. But it's really just like, there is no time on it, it's however long I'm going to continue to do it. Right. So yeah, to set a goal of 350 pounds by May of 2026, right. To be, where I'm at right now, like now, I just feel like I can conquer more, and I feel like I can really like, I guess I've never really had like something where I've worked really, really hard for, and like grind it out for months and days, to like see it now and to like really put in that work. And then like where it all kind of clicks, like you pop the thought bubble on it and you're like, man, I really can do this shit. Like all the stuff that people say, like, you can do whatever you put your mind to, that goes in one ear out the other, but then like when you actually analyze like that quote and like that saying and like you put in the work, man, yeah, it's true, 100%.
Like you said, it was always football season, right? It was always that 3 or 4 months of time, and then it was back to being a shithead for however long, and then back to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, your grades are the same way. I mean, it was the effort all around. It was that time of year.
Yeah.
And now it's just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's procrastination. I mean, you could put that at the top of the list. So,
well, let's set our goals. Let's think big picture, and then we'll come back small. So, 2026, is there anything, and if you don't have anything right now, it's not a huge deal, but you've got like a week and a half, since I'm the one always talking about on the pod, like, have you thought about things that you want to accomplish this year, like as a whole, whether it's 6 months from now, a year from now? I don't know if you thought about like a weight by the end of 2026, or you know what I mean? Like, but is there anything that you want to accomplish this year, do things you've never done before?
I definitely want to be under 300 pounds, and I know like I can achieve that. So I think I'm going to honestly go out on a limb and say I want to be 280 pounds or less by the end of 2026, which I think is definitely achievable. Another thing I've never done is I've never like gone out of my way to like go on a hike, right? Like people always talk about Devil's Lake or something like that. And I always see pictures and I'm like, damn, like that's super, super, like it looks really, really nice, So that's another thing is I kind of want to go to Devil's Lake this year in 2026 and just be able to say I went for a hike.
It's awesome.
So
I think that's great. I think that's kind of where I was going with that. Like, is there anything like with your new ability of life and what you can and can't do, like thinking of those things, and yeah, I think getting outdoor, like whatever. I think that's a great one. I think going for a hike and enjoying the outdoors and
for sure, yeah. Definitely too. Like when there's more planning of my honeymoon, like there was always like a weight limit for like zip lining, or like some kind of obstacle course or whatever. Like now that I am under 350 pounds, like I'm able to do that stuff. Even just like other stuff. Like I'm excited to. Like for the first time, I'm actually excited to get on an airplane and be able to see how much better I fit in a seat. Like I don't have to buy the extra leg room or I don't have to sit all the way in the aisle. Like I'll be able to just feel more comfortable and maybe actually enjoy a flight for once.
Yeah, I love it. I just wrote a couple of those down here while I was listening to you. So let's connect definitely before the end of the year, and I'll share some of my goals with you, and maybe think about reading. Maybe you want to have a reading goal or something. Maybe you say, hey, I want to read at least 3 books a month. That puts me at 36, you know what I mean? Or something. I mean, or you can shoot for the stars and say 5 or 6 a month, but that's, it ends up being a lot. But maybe think of that, or maybe find some series that you really want to read that you're like, oh, if I could read, I don't know. There's some crazy shit out there, but I don't know. Think about maybe some stuff like that. Obviously, you and I are going to talk more about finances and thinking about like finance goals for the year. So we don't got to go over that now, but let's, I've got like 5-ish minutes here, so let's go back to the next month. And then I'd also like to talk about, well, what's our goal for the wedding? Like, when is the wedding, and what do we want to come in at there? Because I know you and I had a conversation. The guy fitting you for your tux is like, dude, you're gonna have to calm down with losing this weight because you keep fucking me up. So, what is your goal there, and when is the wedding?
May 2nd of 2026 is the wedding, and the goal is now going to be just under 300 pounds for sure. I mean, if we could even get to that 280 mark, like where I said for 2026, I mean, think that's 5 months in. So, I mean, possible, yeah, but I'm going to have to just continue to do what I'm doing and essentially even just work harder at it.
I mean, we started in like basically, so we have all of September, October, November, December, right? We've had like 4 full months of this.
Yeah.
4.5 maybe. We've done like 140 pounds, which is crazy. We all know that the bigger you are, you can lose weight faster, at least, maybe that's the not scientific way to say it, but the smaller you get, the harder it is to lose large amounts of weight. But in my opinion, I still think you can swing 5 or 10 pound weeks. You know what I mean?
For
And I
sure.
think you can still do that. So, I mean, we're at just about 340. I mean, is 40 pounds doable? I think 100%. 280 might be doable too. I don't know that it's not. You know, I mean, you've got 5 full months basically, or 4 full months,
Right.
To do it. So, if we do anything like we did the last 4 months, I mean, if you stay super strict and you keep getting your steps in and you keep increasing, you maybe start running a little bit or whatever. Throwing a couple more fasts in there if you want to do that. But
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I think 300 is no problem. You know, and you might be right. 280 might happen quicker than you think.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's where, I go back to like thinking about, where I said, I think I don't know, it was obnoxious where I was like, a mile in 6 months or whatever. And you're like, no, it's 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I always just try and have that mindset, instead of like, why the fuck would he say 6 weeks instead of 6 months, but then I also think that's partially like of the old me, like the procrastination part to where, I also just don't see like myself like accomplishing those, but I know that that's all bullshit, right? Like I know I can just do it. Like I just have to do it,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's go to, we've got a month. We've got till the end of January till you and I meet again. We do a podcast. Let's set our next 3, 4, 5 goals that we want to accomplish by next pod. And I'm going to write these down as well, so I've got them here. So, do you want to set another reading goal?
6 books was kind of difficult, I'm not gonna lie, but I think no, I shouldn't say I think. I know I can do 7 books. I'm just gonna have to be very like strategic about like the pages and like actually make the time again. So yeah, I can do 7 books.
Okay. And just keep in mind too, like you don't always have to, you can do whatever you want. You don't always have to one up on like all of these things too. I mean, it's even if you're like, hey, this next month I'm going to do 4 or 5 books, just to hold yourself accountable to continue with a good habit, I think is the biggest thing. Hey, I'm going to read every night at least 30 pages. I'm going to, maybe there's a page goal. I know for me, I had like a book reading goal, but then this year I read some like 600-page books, and like, wow, that book took me twice as long as a 300 page. You know what I mean? So like the books versus pages sometimes comes into effect. But I do track all of my books on Goodreads as well. So at the end of the year, something cool for you would be to track them on Goodreads because you can basically, I know you said Carly's got it, but you can, I started this book on this day, I finished it this day, and now you've kind of got like a trophy case on your phone.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, it'll give you a report and be like, dude, you read 40,000 pages, you read 12 books, and you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool thing to look back on the years. I'm excited. This is my first full year of tracking all my books. So I'm excited to see like how many I read this year compared to last year and that kind of stuff. So
that'll be exciting.
You're going to go for 7 books, kind of push the limit there. What do you want to weigh? What is our weight goal by the end of January?
Anything under 320 pounds.
320. So we're going for another. I mean, if we get 320, I mean, we might be going for 250 for the wedding.
Yeah.
320 pounds. I like it. That's another 23 pounds away from this recording. What do we have? What about our 1 mile run, walk, jog thing? What do we want to do with that?
I think instead of just doing Mondays and Fridays, like maybe I should do it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, build up more of an endurance.
How are you doing this right now? Like, what does it consist of? What is this? You just start jogging, and then when you need to walk, you walk, basically?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like, I'll look at my Whoop, like, to see, like, the distance in mile, and then, I mean, after a while, like, I just, like, around, like, my neighborhood, like, I know, like, the subdivision is, like, 0.75, right? So if I do that, then go all the way down to the, other stop sign down on the road, like, I know that that's a mile.
And so what are you hitting for a time right now on that, do you know? Are you, like,
anything, I mean, I was trying to do anything under 12 minutes, but, like, now it's just, no, I don't really set up on a time for it. I more or less just try and push myself to finish, like, I try and walk as minimal as possible.
Do you know what you're finishing in right now, though? Like 15, 16 minutes? Or
yeah, it's around there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think just having like a 1 mile, see, I look at it like this, like, I don't care if you jog, if your jog is a little bit faster than your walk and you do it the whole time without stopping, your heart rate's higher, it's harder on you, and you completed a mile jog. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the time, I look at it time under tension. I like to run for as long as I can, not as fast as I can, because I'm just getting my heart rate up, and it's cardiovascular health that way.
Sure.
I'm not training to be a sprinter, especially not in a fucking mile. I'm never going to be you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't foresee you becoming the world record mile holder either. So as far as timing goes, I think there's a good goal there. hey, I want to run it a little bit faster. But yeah, maybe just like completing a 1 mile jog, you know what I mean? Without walking.
Yeah. I think that's, a way better goal. I think, it's just no walking. You know, it can be jog, run, you know, if I really want to be Usain Bolt, I guess. But I think I'm just going to definitely shoot for just finishing without walking.
I think if you can do it and you get like a 15-minute with no walks, like that's good. If you got to slow your jog down a little bit, but it's still faster than you're walking the treadmill, hey, that's fine. Catch your breath that way and then just pick it back up.
Yep.
So maybe just trying to complete a 1 mile jog, I think that would be super cool. And I think that'd be awesome. And it's going to get easier the more weight you lose too.
For sure.
I know sometimes like I did weigh like 195 at one point. We were doing like weighted pull-ups the other day. And so I had like a 15-pound dumbbell between my feet trying to do pull-ups. It's just weird. Like once you lose that weight and then you try to put it back on, like with the backpack or something. Like if you were to put 140 pounds on your back right now and try to go walk around, you'd be like, holy shit. Like what is this? So
crazy, right?
All right. So we're going to do 7 books, 320 pounds, 1 mile jog. Is there anything else that you want to commit to for the month of January that you want to accomplish, do? Yeah. Anything personal, fitness, whatever you want to talk about.
I think those are pretty good goals.
Yeah.
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 I think we can start there and then continue to conquer 2026 as it comes.
Yeah. No, I think those are good. I think those are 3 solid goals. Keep eating healthy, keep eating right, keep your workout routine the same. You know what I mean? Eventually these goals kind of turn into like some kind of habit, right?
Yeah. Like
and
a
then
lifestyle.
your habit is just doing it. So for me, like I was telling you, I just started again my notebook on the side of my bed so that way I can write down what I want to do this week. And I remember I sent you pictures of it and it's just like my weekly habits that I want to make sure I do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep doing that until I feel like I'm back in routine of like that's happening. And then I'll kind of go away from it if I want to. But no, I'm super proud of you. I'm super happy for you. I mean, if you would have told me back in August that you'd be down 140 pounds already, like I don't think either of us would have believed, one another.
No, not at all.
But I mean, you are down almost, I think it's like 138 pounds or 139 pounds, whatever it is.
Something like that, yeah.
So phenomenal. It's Christmas today that you guys are listening. So I guess Merry Christmas to all of you guys out there. But no, I think that's all I've got. Is there anything that you would like to leave the crowd with?
If you're looking to set a physical goal for New Year's, stay locked in. And everybody always asks, like, how do I stay motivated? Like, how do I, like, how am I doing what I'm doing, right? Like, everybody's always looking for an answer of, like, how to be better. Like, just set small goals and just discipline yourself, right? Like, picture, where you want to be 6 months, a year from now, those kind of things. And just be consistent. Like, don't stop. Just be disciplined and don't quit after 2 weeks. Like, just keep going, and you'll be amazed to see like where you'll be 4, 5, 6 months from now, like I was. So,
love it. Fair enough. Well, that's all I've got. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you for coming on for the podcast.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you.
Merry Christmas to you listeners. Happy New Year. I mean, I'll probably talk to you between now and the New Year, but Holden won't. Holden will see you at the end of January. So I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, man.
Thank you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.